the last 4 games we look at are from the Tailteann Cup quarterfinals. Oisín, Leitrim against Sligo.
I actually thought Leitrim were very impressive at the weekend. Sligo, struggled with London. Leitrim by 2.
Bryan?
Yeah, I suppose. Look, when you see that's the difficulty Sligo had in beating London. The fact London missed the penalty as well, I think, in extra time, that could have stopped that game as well. And again, I suppose you look back and we speak about the impact of a manager coming into a setup and adding a bit of professionalism to the whole thing, and how Mickey Hart did it with Loud, Rory Gallagher's done it with Derry, and I think the fact that the Leitrim have seemed to bought in with Andy Moore and come into them. And I suppose beating Antrim as well at the weekend will only put another feather in their cap and put a pep in their step. So I think that Leitrim will win this one.
There's a lovely little Andy Moore and Tony McEntee thing going on here. Funny enough, I think it was important psychologically that Sligo did get over London the weekend. I think they'll be the better for that. I think everybody's expecting Leitrim to bounce on again. I don't know the politics of Connacht, that side of Connacht football as well, but I don't think Sligo have any anxiety at all about facing Leitrim. I'm going Sligo.
Yeah, Fermanagh against Cavan, Oisín.
Cavan, they're the best team in this. They're the best structured, the best coached. They're the best players. I think they'll get it. They'll get it tight against Fermanagh for a while, but I just think that if Cavan really want to win this and they put their heads down, then they'll win it. So their reaction seems to have been great. Impressive at the weekend. Probably could have won that game a lot easier than they won it so easy, but they could have won it even easier. But Cavan to win that 4 or 5 points.
Just repeat everything Oisín said. Yeah, Cavan. Everything he said.
And that's a hat trick from me on Cavan.
Fine. Carlow against Westmeath, Oisín.
Westmeath, brilliant win for Carlow the weekend. Can't underestimate, guys. Carlow's win at the weekend. Huge, considering the league they had.
Beaten by 11 points by Tip in the league.
Beaten by 11 points, hammering the championship, and to fight back and come back and win that game is huge for them. So I mean, there'll be a bit of pep in their step, but I actually think Westmeath forward division is top notch. I know they have deficiencies. I do know that, but Westmeath to win comfortably.
Bryan?
Yeah, same as. I just think Westmeath have too much. Look, probably Carlow, you didn't expect them to beat Tipperary. I think that's more of an indictment of how bad Tip are. I heard a fella talking about Tipperary losing to Limerick in the Munster Championship, and he was saying that it was Tip's worst performance all year and that Tip should have beaten Limerick. But then I kind of turn around and see get beaten by Carlow, kind of puts into perspective where Tip probably are at the moment. But look, I think Westmeath are way too strong for them. And look, I think if the draw goes the way it goes, if you Westmeath Cavan, I think they could be fantastic find if they could get this.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen, Bryan. Let's be clear about that. Tony?
Yeah. I thought you would add that little addendum right to the end of it. I think actually Westmeath did well to get out of Portlaoise. They lost a player early. Certainly in the first quarter. It was last throw of the dice for Billy Sheehan in Laois. I think Westmeath, Offaly and Cavan are the best 3 sides in this tournament. So you don't even have to come to me for the last one. I'm giving Offaly to beat New York. I think the final will be either Westmeath, Cavan or Offaly, 2 of those 3 teams in the final.
Oisín, the 2 great civilizations of the world clash in this last game, Offaly against New York.
You must be so divided on this game, considering how much time you spend professoring or whatever you do in New York. Offaly will win that game, and there's 2 things about this. Is Offaly have bought into it, and it seemed to have bought into the Tailteann Cup in a big way, which is great. And I think New York, just by the lack of proper preparation and matches and Yeah, that's the thing that really comes back and bites them and hurts them, because I think they have some very, very good players, and I think we've even seen that against Sligo this year. But I think Offaly should win that comfortably.
Brian?
Yeah, similar. I think that, as Oisín said there, I think it's a big thing that Offaly have bought into this, and I think it's we even see. I think a lot of the players are blooding. Is the young fellas that have been successful at the Leinster in the Leinster under 20 championship and things like that. So they seem to be building, which is good. I think it's nice to see those fellas getting their opportunity now, and that's only going to do Offaly good. But look, I think Offaly is way too much for New York. I think New York are only fulfilling the fixture here.
I agree with your point, by the way, that I do think Cavan and Westmeath look like the two strongest teams in that competition so far. So the draw, which will be made after next weekend, is really interesting. It's going to open a door to somebody. It's an open draw, the whole southern section, which should never have been the way it was. Never been set out like that.
Yeah.
But that is abandoned after the quarterfinal stage, and it's.
I wouldn't discount genuinely, Paul. I don't know what you're doing, but I wouldn't discount Offaly at all. I wouldn't discount Offaly.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either.
I think I'd add Offaly into that equation as well. Cavan, Westmeath, Offaly.
Big time. The McNamee's back 8 points yesterday, 8 of the 18 from the two lads. That was the big miss, Paul, and you well know it in the championship game against Wexford. I think it's a toss of a coin between those three sides to actually win this